All right, let's go to the elbow now. They usually, right here is where he'll give either the Russian leg sweep or the pendulum backbreaker. Usually it's the pendulum backbreaker into the elbow, correct? That's usually the part of the 5 moves of doom. So, oh, wow. Someone's way out there. Oh, that young rookie, Scott Steiner there. He's beating Scott Steiner. He's already dead from The Simpsons.
You don't need to qualify it's from The Simpsons. I know it's from The Simpsons.
That's for everybody out there. Now, this is unique because, all right, here's how good Bret is and how good everybody from there. He can still throw the elbow. The head doesn't have to be in that direction. In 2025, what would somebody do if they got up on the second rope to do an elbow and saw somebody with their head pointed this way?
The opponent would shuffle their way around to sort of be 90 degrees, I guess.
And if they wouldn't, they would jump down, turn them around, put them in place, and then do it. We saw that with, who did we just see that with? Bronson Reed did that a couple of times before the splash. The dude was in position, or could have just shuffled a little bit in position. He had to turn them. And to me, that's a slight disconnect that you're not really trying to, quote, hurt the person. You're trying to protect them. Where it's just, I mean, you definitely want somebody in position to protect them, but if they have awareness, they know, okay, I'm about 10 degrees off. When he goes up and they have a camera on him, I'll shuffle a little bit over to that. Yeah, but this would be a 180 right here. Excellent. I love this camera angle. WrestleMania 10 once again. They don't do that camera angle at all anymore, do they? I don't remember seeing it.
Do you know, they've just started again. They've started getting camera people up on the apron.
From behind when someone's on the ropes?
Yeah, but I saw this, I don't know if it was on SmackDown or WrestlePalooza or wherever it was, but there was a dude on the apron, but he was in the middle of the apron. And I think it might have been the girls. Yeah, it was Stephanie Vaquer and Io Sky. And they were whipping into the ropes where the cameraman was.
Oh, God.
And it created a bit of an issue where they didn't want to bounce off the ropes.
Even back in the day, the cameraman had ring awareness. You know what I mean? Hey, I want to say right here, when you love somebody in wrestling and your family, you drop an elbow on their throat for real. You hit them even harder. Whoa, Bret. What kind of hero are you there, buddy?
This was Hart Foundation. This was...
Yeah, I know. This was definitely...
A wonderful time, once again, to be a wrestling fan.
Look, you can't get... I mean, it's there, but it's one of those hitting hard in safe places. He's not trying to go through him with it, but there's contact. And the roll through and everything. Just excellent. Oh, see, this means more to me than anything. Watch this. He did the before. This is what makes wrestling better. It's not the move. It's this. Bret doing that character-wise, drops the elbow, and look at his face. It is literally like, I mean, he was about to say something. It's like an FU face.
Oh, no, what he does is he gives the middle finger again. I just cut that out.
But what I'm saying is he is introducing, he's bringing the character or the fans into his character, interacting with them to get heat. And it's so unlike Bret Hart to do something so unwholesome as sticking up the middle finger. I'm not a big fan of just doing it to do it, but like I said, pun intended, the foundation that was set years and years and years leading up to this version of Bret Hart, it means something. It's not just, I'm a heel today. This is the real me. Then you turn babyface. This is the real me. No, it's not. I like after I say something, you just go,
I'm trying not to speak. It annoys myself when I interrupt you.
Oh, stop.
So I'm trying not to make any noise.
Yeah, well, please, you're protecting me from my own stupidity. So anyway, hey, not today, CTE. This is when he won the WWF title for the first time in Saskatoon against Ric Flair, which is a 2-part video on YouTube. And Bret thought he was going to get fired, and he thought that Vince flew his family in so he could fire him with his family. Am I wrong? I remember Bret saying
pretty
that.
much it. No, yeah. I love the bit where Kurt Hennig goes afterwards, after they lose, and they do a sort of a promo afterwards, like, Saskatoon? Who ever heard of Saskatoon? It's great. Why did they never broadcast this match in full? Or unless it was like on VHS only or whatever. And they did the same with Savage, unless it was on prime time.
It was a Coliseum video after the fact, but I remember like just watching your Murder Hour show, I think it was Wrestling Challenge, and it was like open the show with the brand new WWF World Champion Bret Hart, and it was like, how did this happen? I mean, it was cool to see, but yeah, this match didn't really surface outside of Coliseum video till YouTube.
Yeah, they were doing this a lot. They did it with Ric Flair and Savage. They did it with the natural disasters. What? Why? Oh, all of a sudden the natural disasters. They won it on a house show. But they didn't win it on a house show. They won it on a Superstars taping, and they never aired it.
That's
they
very
just showed
weird.
it. Bizarre. They were doing this in 92 a lot. I think it was to, I guess, get the house show, tickets sold more, maybe. Because 92, the business was in the toilet.
Anything can happen in the WWF type thing, right? Wherever it is.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, you look at the cast of characters in 92. How could the business have been down?
I don't know. We're talking about it now, and then we're talking about they were possibly going out of business or almost out of business. Very, very strange. But nostalgia has a weird effect on people too. We're looking back on it. I want to say this is even better than the previous camera angle. It's literally shooting through the two ropes and showing where Bret is going to hit. There's just such a little touch to that means the world. I love this camera angle. Watch. It's pretty awesome. Oh, Yokozuna, man. He kind of stiff Yokozuna in the chest. How can you miss right there? That's a great cat. Look at don't you miss that too? I don't feel like this happens a whole lot. I don't feel like we get like camera flashes throughout moves anymore.
Yeah, like the snooker cage match.
Like the fans.
It wouldn't have been the same.
But everybody has a camera now, but there's no flashes going off. Isn't that weird?
I mean, it's not weird because, like, camera phone technology is so great that it works in low light and you don't really need a flash.
I don't mean it like that, but for photos or whatever. I know a lot of people hold these up just to do video rather than photos and capturing the moment. But I don't know. I'm an old person. Boom. Nice. All right, so here's the fifth move of the 5 moves of doom, or should I say the 5 moves that should get you over, which is proof of Bret Hart, Hulk Hogan, Randy Savage, Mr. Perfect, a bunch of other people. We're going to talk about the Sharpshooter. Once again, the first WWF, no, I said WWEF, the WWECW world title. No, the WWF Championship, Bret Hart's first championship win against Ric Flair. I love that. Look at that. I'm going to just show right here. There's still some struggle to it, or should I say even when he puts it on, I'll do it in slow motion. There is stink on here. Watch him. Like he's hooking right here to make sure, then cinching it up and turn it over. Look at that. You can't get out of it whether you want to or not. Very cool. Here's the other one. Against Savage. Now, Bret does it almost like a left-handed person would do, where you step through. Most people step through with the right. He steps through with the left. So as we go right here, step through, and I see people one, like, each leg. Bret's already like crisscrossing the legs into a clover leaf for the sharpshooter. So he's figure fouring the legs in one motion, almost crisscrossing them. It's really excellent. I love that look right there. Hooks in. Now with Bret, this hand comes underneath, so he could literally put the sharpshooter on in a way with that one hand if he wanted to. Turn over. And right there. Fans are... I'll have to say this. I don't know what it is, but during, like from, say, 97 on or 96 on with Nitro, there was something about this hard camera when the people got on their feet, the Goldberg stuff, other things. What was it about the way... In other words, WWE looks like it has maybe a lower angle of bleacher shot from the hard cam where WCW looks like a really tall, like cascading bleacher, almost like a waterfall of people. Do you notice that?
Mm.
And when they get on their feet, it's a sea of people. Why do you think that is? What say you?
Well, it's a higher angle, I think. Even looking here, it just looks like a higher angle, so sort of the floor seats and the first tier sort of blend together more.
But
or maybe,
I
do you think
so,
they just put more seats on the floor so there's like less of a gap between the floor and the first tier?
It would appear so. Or the bleachers seem to be just, there's no space between the floor and the bleachers. But it just feels like so much more of an exciting moment when these fans on Nitro get on their feet or cheer for the finish. Oh, wait, this is unique. He's going to do like a fish out of water, no sharpshooter. The referee wasn't even ready for that. Did you see that? Earl Hebner almost said, wow, that was cool. Watch him. 1, 2, oh.
Now, there is a reason that we're including the pin attempt here, it should be said.
Oh, because he's kicking the leg through the other leg and doing it lying like he did.
You said it like Owen then. I kick your leg out of your leg.
Yeah, look at that. Very cool. And this is going to hurt even more because Razor's flat on the mat and then it's going to torque. At least when Bret's on his feet, you're already kind of, you can stiffen yourself up a little bit to not have him sit on your back, which he'll do anyway. But here we go. This is tough. And dude, Razor's the same as Nash. He's such a big guy, deceptively big. There he is right there. Yeah, this is the fall down one as Owen has WrestleMania 10. Owen, I wonder if Earl's going to be enamored with the move here too. Let's see. Yeah, knocks Owen down and just hooks it right there. This is the same finish as Yokozuna where he got the salt thrown in his eyes, right?
Mm-hmm. You know that match was meant to go a lot longer.
Why is that?
And then Yoko just told Bret, I'm done, pin me. Or let's just go to the finish quick. He blew up in like 6 minutes, did Yoko.
Are you talking about WrestleMania 10?
No, I'm talking about WrestleMania 9.
Oh, when Yoko won over.
That's when he got the salt in the eyes, yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Was he that nervous? I guess I would be.
Well, he was that fat.
Yeah, but up until
the
that
thing is,
point.
he went for, yeah. I mean, apart from the fact that he was just huge, I guess, but yeah, maybe it was an adrenaline thing, and he just absolutely
his first world title,
got drained.
First singles championship. Here we go with Austin.
Now, I included this because I love the way Austin gets into it himself. He's the one who's fighting, but it doesn't look awkward at any point, or that he's cooperating. I think this is why I included this for the last one.
Austin has a great way with his body language that he's wildly trying to fight you every single second along the way. He understands the struggle, even when he's selling.
Yeah, but look how his body is turning into Bret like he's trying to fight it, and then he just slips right over.
Yeah, he's doing it. What happened is Austin, to this point right here, once Bret stands, Austin is sliding his shoulder over and kicking his hip in that direction to turn himself over. But people are looking at his arms. It's a distraction spot. What are you looking at with struggling with Austin? The blood and his arm going, no, 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 as his hips are saying, yes, yes, yes. That sounds completely wrong. Sorry. Aha.
Aha. Is Bret the best there ever was? As far as just like technically sound, I'm not talking about world of sport kind of thing, but as far as technically sound, is Bret the best to ever do it? Or is there somebody else that you put on Bret's level or even above?
No, I don't put anybody on Bret's level. He's all Bret's going to hear is I said no. I mean, yes, you are the best there is, was, and the way we're looking in 2025, ever will be. So he was right. Bret's right. See, you're right when you said he's right. No, he's absolutely the best. He would admit his promos weren't quite there, but like you said on the pre-show, when Bret didn't care, his promos were great. Who are you to doubt El Dandy, or
Yeah, hypnosis. Dean Malenko's a cruiserweight. Oh man, we need to watch that for the Patreon.
But even when Bret speaks a truth, and this is what makes wrestlers great. This is what makes wrestlers and storylines memorable. Even if you're a heel, and that's why the whole thing with him and Shawn, Canada versus the US, they both spoke a truth, and the fans reacted accordingly. Bret only got better as time went on, and Bret's promos got more. I'm longing for a Bret Hart promo where you don't need to shout, speak wrestling ease. That's the wrestler language where you have to say the name and this and that. I'm begging for a conversational. That's why Punk is so over. Punk is a conversational promo. He's getting a little more pandering here and there, but the core of why Punk got over is why Bret got over with his promos. He's speaking the truth and he's talking to you. He's not yelling at you and going, "This is what we're going to do, brother." There was a time and place for that, but it was passé by that point.
I wish I'd included some footage, fan footage, even if it's at the house show at Madison Square Garden, where Bret's in like 2010 or 2011 or whenever he had his last matches, and it was like a 6-man with the new Hart Foundation, as it were, Natty and Harry Smith and whatnot. And he's just as sound, and he's like in his mid-50s, and he's got a career-ending concussion, and yet he can still pull. Even the pendulum backbreaker looked great. Even the sharpshooter looked great. Even the elbow off the middle looked great. He can't do he couldn't do the Russian leg sweep because then he'd have to take a bump.
Yeah.
And obviously he can't do that. But the other 4 looked pretty much just as good as they ever did.
Well, he had 2 other matches. The one with Vince at WrestleMania in Arizona where everybody interfered. He needed all the smoke and mirrors at that point. And also the match where he won the U.S. title from Miz. There's been Bret wrestled a few times after, like you said, that house show and other things where he still showed, man, I'm kind of better than most even after all the stuff that happened to me.
He was in like a 14-man tag match at some point as well. He actually had, might blow your mind here, including the Vince McMahon match at WrestleMania, he had 11 matches.
Wow.
So he wrestled The Miz, Chris Jericho and Edge versus Bret Hart and John Cena, the 14-man elimination, and a bunch of house shows.
Was he on a Survivor Series team too? Was that the Nexus one or one of the other?
No, that was SummerSlam. That was the 14-man elimination.
Okay.
And then the last match he ever had was Bret and John Cena versus Alberto Del Rio and Ricardo Rodriguez.
I'm telling you right now, even he's incredibly brave. That's still a chance. I've talked about it before with, say, Devon getting back in the ring with the issues he had with the stroke. And of course, I think he had back surgery or he had the back issues. And it just takes one bump, one weird bump, one weird thing. And of course, you got to put your trust in the other person to some degree, even to take a move. It's an incredible chance. He's 11 matches after suffering everything he suffered. And still, like you said, just like riding a bike, just at least with the moves you can do properly. And that speaks to it right there. What did you say? Well, Bret didn't do the Russian leg sweep because he would have to take a bump. He's eliminating all the danger from the match and saying, I still have 4 other moves of doom I can do. Well, maybe not the one off the second rope, but I mean,
no, he did.
Oh, he did it?
I think he did the move off the elbow off the second. I think he did, yeah.
At WrestleMania or this house show?
No, house show. That's
even braver. Like at WrestleMania, you would say, okay, I'm going to pull something out, but he must have been feeling himself that night. Or he wanted to show those kids, I can still do this.
So yeah, that's the Bret Hart and Hart Dynasty versus the Nexus. Heath Slater, Justin Gabriel, and Michael Tarver. So there you go. That's
PJ
the one I'm
Black,
talking
that's
about.
That's a name I haven't heard in a while.
There you go.
PJ Black. Yeah.